Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, today we're going to get back on the CS3C Yamaha and we're going to pop the top end off and hopefully we'll get it over on the bench, get some measurements and see how we're going to have to progress or proceed up here. Whether it be oversized or just putting a new piston in or whatever. We'll determine that by the measurements. But before I do that, I had a naysayer or two on the leak down test of the Yamaha CS3C that said that each cylinder had to be done individually. And I don't know why I feel the need to prove that wrong, but I'm going to do it. We're going to go ahead and everything's still in place. We'll pump up the cylinder again to 5 psi and then pop the right hand spark plug and you'll see a slow decrease. That's because the pressure is coming through that labor seal. So I don't know why I need to do this, but I'm going to do it. Now, that being said, not all multi-cylinder engines are the same. Most of the early Yamahas had the labor seal. So, you know, if you're looking at the YL100, the HSS or HS190cc, the AS1 125 series, or the 200s, and I think it goes on through the 250s and the 350s also, but I haven't been into those in years, so I couldn't say for sure. But you're not going to find this on a lot of the Suzukis or the Kawasaki's or the Bridgestones. I believe the Bridgestones. It's been a while on those two, but I think those three have actual rubber seals in between each cylinder. Those you have to do singly, each cylinder at a time. But on these type bikes, it would behoove you to look it up in the parts breakdown, and if it says there's a labor seal in there, then you've got to do the complete engine as a package. If you try to do one at a time, the test will fail. So let me get you over here and we'll get started. Okay, I just want to show that we've still got everything. All I did was just pull the gauge over to the right side so that we could watch it. So everything's over here. Everything's still plugged up in there. The exhaust pipes are still plugged up. So you can see that everything is the same as it was when we did the test on this. Okay, just to show you that these are connected. Here's 5 psi on the gauge. Here's my pump here with the relief valve right there. So you can see that I'm not doctoring up anything. It's going to be a slow release because the air is going to come from the other side. Starting down already. Come out of there. There. Just going to be a slow release because it's coming through, the air from the other side is coming through the labor seal right now. And when it gets down to, you know, maybe 1 or 2 psi, it'll probably kind of really slow down. But the fact of the matter is, these two cylinders are connected. If you don't test them connected, you will not get the proper reading. Okay. So I think you can see that. don't know why I feel like I need to prove stuff, but I've got people that are naysayers, so there it is. Okay, I'll go ahead and get all this leak checking plugs and all that stuff off. And there's our seals that worked to seal up the exhaust. Okay, let's get our oil lines disconnected. Be sure to hold on to them. I feel like it's been off for a long time. Oh, looks like I got a stud on that one. That's been a long time since a stud came out on me like that. Let's see if they're there. I think it's loose now. There. That one come up anyway. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to, probably going to have to pull it. Let me see. Okay, it's pulling pretty easy. I just couldn't get it started, so I thought I'd use the piston pin puller. It's better than banging around on them. I just cringe when I see people bang on the, because they're essentially banging on the rod. Okay. Okay guys, thank you. Don't forget the thumbs up. Okay, I've got the left cylinder here, and we're going to measure up our piston. And The pistons are measured approximately 10 millimeter from the bottom of the skirt, according to the manual. Okay, we got 2.0495. Okay, so I went over and set my bore gauge up to exactly that size, the 2.0495, and we'll just go in here and see. Get a little more view here, maybe. Okay, about 4 and 8 10 thousandths right there. And let me whoop it over. Almost doesn't want to fit down here. Okay, maybe a little better at 4 and 7 10 thousandths. So we got quite a bit of wear there. Get you a little closer here. All right. Okay, we've got the right, and again the same, 10 millimeter from the bottom of the skirt. Okay, 2.446. So again, I went over and put that in to the dial bore gauge. Okay, so okay, we're at about the same there, depending on where I'm at. Right at the top, about 4 and 6 10 thousandths. On the bottom, okay, it's about, I got 4 and 4. If I get down there closer to the port, I'm at closer to 5. 4, 4, 8, 4, 9, 5, depending on where I'm at. I think I'm getting in a port down there, 5.5. So we're pretty close to the same on both of them. Definitely need a bore because the clearance on these is one. Where is it? One 2 to 1 4. So 1 2 10 thousandths to 1 and 4 10 thousandths. So we're at almost 5. So that's That's where a lot of our noise was coming from. Let's take a little closer look at the bore here, if we don't blind you. So there's some ridges in it. There's a pretty good one right down here, I think it is. Yeah, I can feel that. So there's a lot of wear. I think you can really see that there. Let's look at the other side. That would be right over here now. But no, it's not near as bad on the other side. That was the right one. And here's the left one. Okay, but we're pretty much the same on both of them. One a little worse than the other. But, you know, the bottom line is it should be bored, so that's what we're going to do if I can find pistons. And notice this when I pulled the head gasket off. You see how it's separated here? The other one looks okay. I didn't clean the sides of these up, so you can see we had a little blow by, but it wasn't bad. This one here, it's almost non-existent on. So even though the bore size is way off, these they were sealing pretty good. Now the rings are stuck, but I think they're pretty worn out. I don't know, maybe not, because they don't really show it. I do have two standards, and I measured those up, and I'm only gaining about almost a thousandths on a new one, so that's not going to do anything for us. So I'm going to see if I can find first over. I think that will do what we need to do. But I do have rings and pistons in a standard for one of these. If somebody needs some, let me know. Okay, now we've got all the stuff we all like to do so much. Get the old gaskets off. It's really nice when they just come off, but they almost never do. There's many different ways to try to do it, but it's almost always boils down to a razor blade of some sort. This one's not too bad, not so far anyway. I'm just using like a one for a box cutter knife. You know, they're a little more durable than a razor blade. It's got this line here that I need to watch too. Got a bunch of dirt there too. Just bottom line is you need to make sure you've got everything covered up. But everybody knows that this is not not a glorious job, and we've all got ways to do it. So you don't need to watch me do it. But the bottom line is you've got to get all of the gasket off, otherwise you're going to have problems. So you just take time. There's a lot of little tools out there. Some of them work, some of them don't. It's just up to you. The idea is not to scratch stuff and still get all your gasket off. This little Motion Pro scraper works pretty good. It's got a brass blade too. But there again, you know, the good thing about this is you can sharpen it. I just grab my little Arkansas stone once in a while and give it a little touch up. But we've just about got this. And what I've found too is you can, if you've got some that is pretty stubborn, if you'll give it a good coat of grease and just walk away from it for a while, you know, a couple hours or so, and let that kind of soak into it. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it don't. And of course, you know, using a razor blade this way also, once you get it pretty close to most of it, all the big stuff off, that helps go ahead and level it down a little bit more. They won't last very long doing that, but they're pretty cheap. Use as many as you need. And once you get done, since you've kept your paper in there, what I do is I use compressed air to get rid of all the fragments, but I don't get down close to it. And what I do is I turn my air down, run about 45 psi. You don't want to blow the paper out, you just want to blow all the stuff off of it that you scraped in onto it. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I think we got her cleaned up pretty good. So we're going to get our fresh paper towels in there. Don't know how long it's going to be before we... Sometimes getting pistons for these kind of obscure things are kind of difficult. I had quite a time with the HS1 90cc twin, but at the end, when I had a bad piston, I came up with it pretty easily. So we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, that's all cleaned up. I got the stud that came out back in, so we should be able to just, when we get the parts, just go ahead and put it back together. So I think that's just about all I can do. Okay guys, there you have it. I think we're back together there pretty good. So we should be, I've got to get this down off of the lift, so I have to kind of put it together a little bit. So I'll see if I can find some pistons. Okay guys, there you have it. Little short video this weekend. It just didn't have much going on except this. I've done most of my cleanup already. We just got to see if we can locate some pistons and rings, and it should be just you know, a board up real quick and hone it, fit it, and put it back together. But I think that's where most of that noise was coming from. About 4 thousandths clearance or a little better, almost 5 in a couple places. So we're supposed to have 1 thousandths and 2 10,000ths to 1 and 4 10,000ths. So we're quite a ways from there. So hopefully we'll be able to locate those and we'll be able to get it back together pretty soon. I hate to have stuff setting apart like that for very long. So I'll see what I can do, but I've got some other parts that I can start other projects on now. So we'll get into those. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.